Hey, what's up guys? Bajheera here, bringing you another BFA Warrior Gear update. So we made one of these for like the first week or after the first week of BFA, going into the second week, and I'd like to make another one after the second full week of BFA, going into the third. So the first week of BFA, we were fairly busy with like real life stuff, and definitely still staying on the grind with the gains, which we are definitely still doing. Currently 6 days out from the Muscle Beach Championships, which is very exciting. But this past week, we definitely got to play a little bit more WoW, got to get on the grind a little bit more, and I'm feeling pretty good about where we're ended up going into week 3. So let's take a look. We're currently 342 item level. I'm playing a combination of Arms and Fury. I usually play Arms for things like dungeons or BGs or Arena, obviously. If there's anything that you have a healer for, I think Arms is really, really good for that. But then when I'm doing, like, you know, more solo content, like world quests, like world PvP, you know, I would probably play Fury for duels and even island expeditions where you don't have a healer. I think Fury is really, really fun for the sustain and the self-healing and just all that good stuff. So that's a lot of fun. But just before you read too far into what spec I'm playing, that's just kind of why I'm playing Fury right now. It's just doing world quests, I guess. So how we're looking is we're still 342. One of the places where I need a new helmet, or sorry, one of the places where I need an epic is the helmet slot. So I have a couple. I'll use Overpower. They just nerfed this a lot, so I might be using a different trait instead of Overpower. But right now I still just have 2 Overpower helms. Hopefully this week, we haven't run any mythics yet. Looking to try to get us a new helm. That would be amazing. There's a lot of places that drop helms. We just got to get one. And hopefully replacing the Overpower trait would be good. For Fury, I still have this one that gives me self-healing and a shield. Basically, my Fury gear is really like sustain build, right? Like heals and shields, and I'll show you what I mean by that. My Heart of Azeroth is now 342 item level. That's partially just because I'm level 17, which is not that high. Like I said, I think one of the things we missed out on the first week was probably grinding a lot of world quests to get that rep up and stuff like that. But like I said, this past week was a little bit better. Got to do more world quests, got to do more farming, and we knocked out every single mythic dungeon, which is good. Still didn't get the craziest loot from mythics, but that's okay. 342 item level is not that bad. So in terms of like my shoulders, the game has given me tons of shoulders from different mythics. So I have these, which I use for like world stuff. It puts a slow on my opponent, and I also have a healing trait on there too, which is nice. Now in terms of like the PvE stuff, I have the Test of Might shoulders, I have Overpower shoulders, I have Bladestorm shoulders, and then I have the Mortal Strike shoulders, which these are really, really neat for Arms PvP because they have the Mortal Strike effect, and they also have Bury the Hatchet, which is a really nice like Victory Rush shield trait. So those are really cool. I got to keep these around. But I have a bunch of different choices for PvE stuff in terms of shoulders. None of these are really like set up for Fury, except for maybe these. I kind of want to play Fury in PvE at some point too, but we'll get to that. In terms of my cloak, got a little lucky here. This thing Warforged, crit verse, not the craziest stats, but it's nice that it has a 345 Warforge on there. I still only have 1 chest piece, which is insane. I mean, I've gotten some blue chest pieces, but nothing really worth keeping. This is just the Colossus Smash trait. So once again, this is why I'm playing Arms and dungeons, so you're seeing a lot of like my traits set up for Arms for dungeons. Down here, just straight up haste, mastery, bracers. Once again, these things aren't gonna have like the craziest min-maxed stats, just because at this point I'm just trying to keep purples in the slots just to make sure that we have good like base stats. These I was actually having trouble getting blue gloves from dungeons, and fortunately these bad boys Titan Forge off like a 330 world quest, I believe. So haste versatility, once again, not the craziest stats, not the worst stats, because haste is nice. But 345 item level off of a world quest, not too shabby. The belt, 340 belt, crit haste, great stats. Threw a haste gem in there too. Pretty solid looking belt. Just need to get that item level up a little bit. These things also Warforged. Just 345s, crit mastery. Once again, not the craziest stats, but having good crit is nice, so I'm not too mad about that. These are really, really nice. The big old 350 boots, crit verse with the haste gem. These are nice. I've been enjoying these quite a bit. I don't know if we'll have to replace those for a bit, but a lot of this stuff, once again, we're going to be farming mythics to try to get either better stats or Warforges this week. Got a lot of mythics to run because we unlocked all of them, which is pretty cool. Didn't get the craziest. I don't think I got any loot from like Siege of Borealis. I think I got like maybe like shoulders that I already had. And then King's Rest gave me nothing, so struggling on that department, but whatever. We got 2 rings, just good old 340 rings, haste mastery, crit haste, which a bunch of haste is really, really nice. in addition to having those enchanted. I haven't enchanted my weapons yet, but I probably need to do that. We'll see about that. But a big old haste stat on this. These two could both obviously be better item level, but having a purple there is nice. They buffed this trinket that I got, which makes me pretty happy. The actual, like, missile barrage thing hits harder, and when it crits, it's like 34k damage, so it's not too shabby at all. And then I have Reson's Eye as well, which is really nice haste proc on there. Both these are just your standard 340 item level, but not too bad. In terms of my weapons, I did buy a BOE weapon. I was getting extremely, well, maybe not extremely unlucky, but I was getting unlucky enough in dungeons to want a weapon, so I went ahead and bought one of these. This is kind of like probably the lower end of like how good of a BOE weapon you can get, but it was a really, really good price, so I picked it up, and I'm glad I did, because now I have a 350 weapon to use for arms. Versatility mastery, not the craziest stats, like I said, but it looks kind of cool. And it's a pole arm, which is kind of nifty. But, you know, like I said, the main thing I'm looking for here is it has good weapon damage, good DPS, and that's really going to be helpful for doing these next couple weeks of Mythics. And if we don't get a weapon this week in Mythics that we can use in Arena, we at least have a 350 weapon to use the first week of Arena on September 4th. I'm still using this bad boy for the haste and mastery for Fury. But obviously, if we get a second weapon this week, I could probably still use this for arms because it's 350. But if we get something like a 345 or 340, that'll be nice to upgrade this for Fury, which is cool. And then, of course, we can enchant these as well, just to make it even better. But all in all, you know, even having a bit of a slow week that first week in BFA, we didn't, you know, we're not on like the cutting edge of highest item level possible, I don't think, because we're just behind on a few things, like including my Heart of Azeroth, getting that grinded up and whatnot. But all in all, like, we have all the mythics unlocked now, so we'll be able to hit all those. I guess another thing that we might have been behind on is we didn't do the island expeditions thing for the first week, so maybe that puts us a little bit behind on AP and rep a little bit. But like I said, all in all, we had a really good week, a second week of BFA. We stayed on the gains grind. We got some good world quests in, farmed up all that rep. Gear's looking good. 342 item level is not a shabby start for, you know, the arena season, let alone this week of another full set of mythics that we get to try to get some loot in and, you know, tear it up in the world quests and keep working on that rep and keep working on the Azerite power. But all in all, man, I'm feeling pretty good, having a lot of fun with BFA. Hopefully you guys are too. Me and Jenny got a lot going on these days in the games, the gains, and IRL. But being able to kind of buckle down and play some WoW and enjoy a new expansion with all you guys on the stream has been a blast. Definitely we're going to keep the content rolling for you guys. One of the things I'm looking forward to is some PvP. We've been really focusing on PvE a lot to try to get this item level up, to try to get this rep up, and try to get this AP up. Just because PvE is kind of like one of those things that really helps you kind of establish a strong baseline. But I think what's going to happen is as the PvP season begins and as we kind of finish up a lot of these, like, okay, the new expansion, you got to lay the foundation stuff, kind of starts to wind down a little bit, we can kind of focus on getting some more PvP, some more BGs, and of course the arena season starts the day after my competition, so we'll knock out my first competition of the year. We'll have like a 2-week period where we can kind of chill just a little bit. We're going to keep training hard, keep staying hard on the diet, but it'll be like 2 weeks before I really drop into the prep for the next show. So we're doing 3 shows in 2 months, but got to knock out the show, be feeling good, and then the arena season will start up, and that'll kind of carry us through the next couple weeks, I bet, having fun doing PvP. So be on the lookout for more PvP stuff. But speaking of PvP, we're going to be in a good position to start it up at 342 item level. So right now, in the beginning of the week, and then hopefully we'll be closer to 345 plus as we wind into week 3. But either way, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace!